Good morning, Code fans. It's me, the Code Whisperer. Here I am, and today we are going to have a real fun time coding it up. We're going to make Mad Libs in the browser. Now, you know me, I love games. Mad Libs is a fun game everyone likes to play. Now, if you so choose, you can fill it in with dirty words like everybody does when they do Mad Libs, but that's up to you. We're keeping it clean today. On Code Along with the Code Whisperer. So let's get started. And first, I'm going to get up and close my window because there is a truck outside. Okay, mission accomplished. Also, coffee is good, isn't it? I think so. All right, let's get started here. So we're going to start, we're going to just make a tag, and we'll just call it Mad Lib. This has no programming significance, but if you know me, I like presentation. Presentation's important. Actually, Mad Lib might be taken, so let's give it our own zany name. We'll call it Zany Word Fill-In Thingy Game. Out you go, cat! Out you go, family cat. That cat. So this is looking good. Now in JavaScript, let's write our game. We'll actually make a div here and just give it the ID of lib, as in Mad Lib. And we'll say const libtext equals, must be an empty string for now, and then for almost no reason we'll say document.getElement by ID lib.inner HTML equals libtext. So that's just so it's going to show up here while we're typing it. I just thought that'd be cool. So let us write our hilarious Mad Lib. You know how this works, it's just a story but you leave certain words blank. Let's get started. Johnny was and here is where we'll put our first template. So let's just, we can do this any way we want, but we'll just put underscores around the template words. Johnny was occupation. Every day he would go to his place of action. One day, he met woman's name. She was so, and we'll have a quality, and extremely another quality. So this is a good starter. Let's actually write a bit of code now and make sure it works before we write our whole Mad Lib. But as you can see, this is obviously tons of fun. So now what we want to do in our code, we want to read the lib text and kind of extract all these underscored statements. I am actually not sure how to do that in any respect. So let's kind of look that up right now. How to get all elements in a string surrounded by character JavaScript. Is this going to work? Let's see. Right, so you want everything inside the two underscores. A regex might do it. I'm not saying underscores here because that's arbitrary. I'm trying to find an answer that deals with general things like quotes. By quotes, JavaScript. So here we go. Here's an extract text plugin. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Does this thing work? I don't even understand what this crazy line is supposed to be. Are you seeing this? What the heck is that? Let's open up the console and see what's going on. Clear. What's that? It's valid JavaScript dot test. No, that doesn't work. Nope. Dot test. Yes. So we can test that against a string. Jimmy Johnson, false. Jimmy Johnson, true. But we actually want what's in the thing. What is this? Not test, but match? Exec. That might work. This string on exec on our string. So let's bring it back to our code pen and let's just test it out. We'll say console.log. Actually, we'll say const string getting regex equals, and we'll copy that in for now. We don't know if we're really going to need it. And we'll say console log string. I'm going to copy that. String getting regex dot exec libtext. So hopefully we're going to get a thing of all our things. And I also want to go in here and change this quote to an underscore. Unless that's a special character, in which case it won't work. Let's see. So open up this. And it says null, but we know it's not null because there's these thingies in there. Libtext, I add to the console statement. And it says libtext is null. That's pretty weird. Let's replace this other quote with an underscore. Is that what we want? Okay, so that regex doesn't really appear to work unless that is right. Okay, good. So we're getting some text here. It's a weird object with what we're looking for and then what we're looking for again without the underscores. Let's try and put a G at the end of it for global. All right, let's try another example. All right, so we want get all substrings inside quotes in string JavaScript. All right, so we don't want regex.exec, we want mystring.match. That actually makes a lot of sense. So here we have this regex. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't really know. So we'll say lib, what do we call our things? Libtext. Libtext.match string getting regex. Say console.log this. And there we go. So there's our array of libs. That's really good. So now we have what we need to get started. We got this thing and we're going to extract all the words from it. Then we'll just kind of make a prompt for the user to fill it in. So get rid of all these logs and we'll just save this in memory. Const user words to fill in equals, and we'll just do that. Looking good. So we're gonna give the user a prompt for each one of these things, and they're gonna fill in the occupation, the quality, etc., that they think would make sense. So let's draft out this input zone. So it'll have the name of the thing. Let's just sub in a quality followed by an input and a button that says submit. And we'll give this input an ID of text input. And when we click this button, on click equals submit text input. Now we'll make a method on the window called submit text input. And so it'll just be a method. And let's have a log here to make sure it's working. Submitted text. Const text equals document.getElement by ID. Text input dot, how do you get the inner text from an input? Let's look that up. JavaScript get text value of input. I think it's dot value actually. Yes, dot value. Dot value, and it will have log submitted text, text. And there we go. Will it also capture our text? Yes, good. So you can see here in the bottom corner, it's submitting our text and we're getting it. So now we want to asynchronously for each of these words to fill in, we want to update this and remember what the user said. So how are we going to do that? It's kind of tricky because it's a loop, but it's asynchronous. All right, we'll just do this the old-fashioned way. We'll make a variable. Let current text input index equal 0. Then we'll make a function that kind of recursively calls itself to get the user's input. Function get next text input from user. So we'll say const current word equals, what we call this variable, user words to fill in current text input index. And now when the user submits this, let's just go ahead and increment this now while we're here. So every time they submit it, it'll move it forward and we'll be working with a different list element of the list. And let's give this h2 an ID of current word. Current word. That should work. And then we'll say document.getElement by ID current word dot inner HTML equals, so that's not even right there. Inner HTML equals current word. And now we'll call get, so we'll just call this one to get it started here at the bottom. Good. So now the next word that we want is showing up here. Let's also get rid of this that is showing the lib text since we don't want that anymore. Let's add some instructions. Fill in the blank words to make a wacky story. So when we type in the occupation, let's try this out. Type in the occupation plumber. And it doesn't actually work on enter, which is really annoying. I'd like to fix that. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this whole element in a form. And is that going to work, or is that actually going to refresh the page? I don't know if it's going to refresh the page, so I'm going to copy my code just in case it does. Now say okay, P. Great. It submits it, and it kind of, there's some refresh action going on here with this whole thing. It's like it's refreshing. Let's prevent that. So when we call submit text input, we want to get an event. Will this work? Let's just say here's an E. Can we just say e.prevent default right here? Oh, I hope so. And there's no E, but how do we pass E? All right, let's try form on submit equals, and we'll just say this with no brackets. Oh man, there's no way that's gonna work. Okay, now nothing happens. All right, how do we do this? Form on submit, prevent, refresh. On submit equals, okay, what's this? So we have to return false for it not to refresh. Sure. So we'll just get rid of this, and then at the bottom of this we'll say return false. It is still refreshing. But how do we get the E? Okay, let's see. JavaScript form submit get event. How does this work? No mention of event. Okay, so we don't want on submit, we want an action? Never even seen that. Okay, whatever. Form action equals submit text input. Whoa, that took us completely to the wrong thing. That's not right. This is right. All right, so this answer, which everyone really likes, is telling us to use JavaScript to add the event listener. We don't have much of a choice here, people, so let's just give it a shot. This whole form an ID. ID equals annoy form because it's annoying me. Then we'll say document.getElement by ID annoy form dot add event listener. And what event did they want for this? Submit and then callback? Right. Submit, and then we'll have a callback with E, and let's just say e.prevent default, and then we'll call submit text input. This is gonna work. I think it's gonna work. Good, it worked. So you can see we're submitting our text, but it's not refreshing at all. Let's add something here. Oh, this is so messy. Can we clean this up? Get that indent working? All right, sorry CSS, no more room for you today. We got some wide JavaScript that we're writing today. Where's the fill in? Prevent default. Good stuff. I don't think we have to return false here anymore or pass E. But what we do want to do is we want to get the text input once its value is taken and just make it empty. So the form kind of resets itself. Let's see how this works. Good, form's resetting itself. Now we'll update it so that each time we fill it in, it'll move on to the next Mad Lib word, which should be as simple as calling getNextText from user here at the end. So we'll type that in, moff, flume, great. So every time we do that, it updates to the next Mad Lib word we want. We've got our whole interactive form going. Now, it's unfortunate that we couldn't write it using something better, like generators. We're just having this recursive functioning thing going. But if it works, right? So this is good. I'm going to save that. Okay, and refresh it. Please work. Good stuff. Now what we want to do is we want to actually store the things that the user types in. So we'll say const user words stored equals bam. Then whenever we get the text, we'll just push it to user words stored. Dot push text. And we'll get rid of this console log for now, just hide it a little bit. Then we'll say if current text input index is greater, or no, we'll say if it's equal to user words to fill in dot length, that means we filled them all in, so we can complete. We'll call a function that we're going to write and call it complete lib, and then we'll return out of this. And actually, we'll make this equal or greater than, so it works on subsequent clicks as well. And then we'll write a method, complete lib. And for this one, we'll just log the user text. Completing the lib. And we'll just say the user words stored. So let's see if that works. We'll just fill out all these occupations. Cool. So we get our completing the lib message. So these are all stored. All we have to do really is make the Mad Lib. So we'll say let replaced text equal, and we'll take the lib text. Then for each of the user words stored, how do we get the index for these again? I forget. Can we get the index this way? Not with this way, but we can hide, we can get rid of this. And we'll actually do user word stored dot for each and pass a method word and index. Now we have the index, which we're going to need. And we'll say const to replace equals user words to fill in I. So we know what the word is and what we want to replace it with. Then we'll just say libtext equals libtext, we'll say replaced text equals replaced text dot replace to replace with the word. And when we did all that, we'll log our replaced text. And before we do the finishing touch and make it show, let's just make sure it works. So let's go through the loop. Here's easy. I is not defined. Right. We don't want I, we want index. Haha. Let's try that again. Blue, 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 doo, 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 blue, doo, doo, goo, goo. Johnny was a 5. Oh, great. Okay, this is incredibly awesome. Here in our console, we get our outputted Mad Lib text. It's looking great. So when it's finished, we'll get rid of the form. We don't need it. Document.getElement by ID annoy form dot inner HTML equals nothing. Then we'll say document.getElementID lib dot inner HTML equals replaced text. And since we've got little spaces going on here in our replace text, we're actually just going to put this all in a pre, which is going to preserve, hopefully, these changes that we got going. So that should basically work. This Mad Lib should be good to go. Let's give it a shot. We'll just put some real stuff in here, see if it works. Programmer. Chewing. Fanny. Pretty. And tall. Johnny was a programmer. Every day he would go to his place of chewing. One day he met Fanny. She was so pretty and extremely tall. Aw, Mad Libs aren't funny unless you put, you know, inappropriate stuff in the things. But as you can see, it works. Now we just want to kind of sugar it up a little, style the pre, if that's going to work. Size 16 pixels. Does that work? Is that font size? Great. So this is good. So all that we have to do now is finish our Mad Lib. Are you ready to finish it with me? You can kind of diverge and make one that you want. I'm just going to have fun. Here, this is all looking good. We got a typo here. Not long after holiday, the two lovers decided to go and visit their favorite place, country, or place. Once they got there, though, disaster struck. Johnny forgot his personal item in his place. He had no choice but to call his occupation and ask for his item before year. He was so ashamed that he went to a place and he action in past tense for duration. Writing Mad Libs is fun. This is what serious programmers like me and you do. Okay, so this is done. This is great. What should we do next? This is all right. You know what? Let's just give it some styling. Width 600 pixels. Margin auto. Is that going to work? Yes, that works. Yeah, that's good enough for me. Maybe we'll just add a little bit of color. Color, let's make that a dark brown, dark gray. Does that even change anything? All right, no, not in pre, just inside body. That's good. That's too light, though. And that'll do for now. Let's see how it all renders. So let's do our Mad Lib one time in earnest. Occupation, mathematician. Action, snoring. Woman's name, Henry. Quality, stinky. Another quality, chewy. Holiday, St. Swithin's Day. Country or place, Luxembourg. Personal item, portrait of the Queen. Place, the bathroom. And occupation, fry cook. Year, 2525. And place, the laundromat. Action in past tense. All right, let's keep it clean, folks. We're going to keep it clean here. Danced a jig. A million years. Okay, this is pretty funny. What's going on here? This width is too wide. I hope it doesn't reload the whole thing when I change this. It's like it won't hold the pre. Can we put a width on the pre? The pre does not like being contained in a container. That's annoying. We're not going to worry about it today. Let's get rid of this margin auto. Good enough. And there we have it, folks. Another day, another wacky adventure for the Code Whisperer and you. We made a zany word fill-in thingy game that you can do again and again. I encourage you to change up the story and then show it to your friends. Your friends actually can't see what the story is until they've completed it. So I guarantee you guys are going to have a big laugh. Be sure to like this video, like it, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next recording.